In a world of fitness gurus, trainers, and tons of information, myself, Chrissy Sansevier, co-host Chris Marzarella, and comedian and producer of the show, Sean Malloy, break down the real and raw of a fitness-based lifestyle with plenty of tips and insights to achieve today's ultimate fitness lifestyle. Consistency, variety, and convenience all have to come together to help create this listening experience. I'm a NASM certified functional trainer and a corrective exercise specialist. I am also a licensed massage therapist in New Jersey for these past 20 years. My co-host Chris is a USAPL powerlifting coach as well as an ACSM personal trainer and physique coach. Together, we all blend our contrasting fitness ideas and come to you with industry knowledge, integrity, and much needed humor in today's fitness normal. So welcome into your fitness lifestyle podcast. Welcome back to the Fitness Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy, with Chris.
Yo.
And I'd like to introduce a new individual who will be a regular part of our podcast. He's our tech guy. He is our producer. He is amazing. He is the Sean-O-Manic. He is Sean-O.
Thank you very much. I'm super excited to be getting the call up from the minor leagues where I was behind the glass. I was in the background. You guys might have heard Chris yell at me to cut some things before, but here's my face, my beautiful face, right? And you're gonna be
forced
to see, and worst of all, you're gonna have to hear my opinions on things, which some might say are controversial, but I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much, Chrissy and Chris, for inviting me on and giving me some more responsibility. This is really fun. I'm very excited to grow this podcast with you guys.
We're super stoked to have you, man. Very excited.
Really fun.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good time. So
three's a company, baby.
For tuning in, and this is gonna be a really good podcast. This is the Tom Brady podcast. So we actually were going to record this. We were actually supposed to record this the week before the Super Bowl. But as you guys know, as we went over last week, we all went through some personal stuff. But we're back on, and we are ready to rock and roll. So I'm actually going to hand over the reins to Sean, because he was the one who was all about doing this podcast. And he deserves to get the ball rolling. So what do you say, Shauna?
All right. So Tom Brady, right? The greatest quarterback, greatest football player of all time, I think, by most people's perspective. We're not here to I'm sure we'll talk to debate his greatness, or, a lot of people don't like him because he wins so much. We're not here to debate any of that. What we're going to focus on is you guys may have seen, because it was in the news before, his TB12 program. And that is his personal brand where he sells all sorts of exercise equipment. There's all sorts of workout and like health and fitness philosophy. He talks a lot about stretching and, it's a whole fitness suite that he kind of packages. And today we thought it might be fun. Well, really, before life happened, we thought after the Super Bowl, it might be fun to look at his exercise program, the notorious TB12 program. And you guys, the experts, are going to tell us what you think is legit, what you think is bullshit, and what you think is total nonsense. I'll swing it now to you, Chris, for you to give some of your opinions.
Um, I was looking on the website a couple days ago, and some of the stuff he shares, um, it's a lot of band work, and I do have to tell you, wait, what's the word I'm looking for? I do use band work a lot with my customers and my athletes, and it's not the mainstream of what Tom Brady does or is, getting known for with his training. Um, he sells a band pack, and it's kind of like he's trying to pimp himself. And I looked on the website, I couldn't find it right now. The band pack is ridiculously expensive.
Right, because what makes this different than any other, fitness program? It's the Tom Brady brand, right? It's
Yeah,
the 7 Super Bowl wins and possibly counting.
yeah, but
It's the mystique, right? Really the longevity too. The fact that he's been winning Super Bowls for 22 years now. Um, so he is the proof of product, right? He is the product he's really selling. He's saying, this is what I did, and look how successful it's made me. Um, you can be the greatest quarterback in the world too. Like,
That's
um,
advertising for you.
oh yeah,
He's the
but
brand. He's the brand. I mean, and whether we like him or not, like children, like they idolize him. They want to be like him. And if my son came to me and said, mommy, I want the brand, the bands and the little footballs that Tom Brady uses or whatever, for lack of a product. That's what he wants. And why does he want it? Because it's Tom Brady. It's not because it's a little football. He's not going to go into Walgreens and see a football and be like super excited. But if it's a Tom Brady football,
right.
if it's a Tom Brady, you know, protein drink or something like that, they want it as
Right.
opposed
His name is associated directly with winning and greatness and
to
in dominating your field, So, um, what's it when you have, from what he's done on the football field that whole time, that is his proof of concept. That's his proof of product. Is, like I said, look how great I am. You can be like that too, even though you really can't.
yeah, it's just
There's only one goat,
right. And with that being said, not everybody has the financial status that Tom has, and I'm not taking anything away from his athletic abilities. The guy's a wizard. He's the GOAT for a reason. But you have somebody that's in high school and wants to be like Tom Brady and doesn't have a pot to piss in financially. It kind of cheapening Tom's brand. If you look on the website, the training kit. First of all,
I'm looking right now.
I'm looking at it. It's called the TB12 full body band kit. I can get
Well,
the same.
he's also you have to also have to understand, like, he's part of his brand is he's trying to sell this as like, this is what the best uses, but
Right.
this is what you have to, so it's he's trying to upscale it from everyone else's uh fitness or lifestyle program. It's supposed to be, and part of that and making it legit is up pricing things,
Well,
so that
there's
I
a
think that all fits into his brand.
the TB12 vibrating pliability roller sells for 160 bucks. I can get the similar roller for 90.
Hey man, like I said, you can't put a
Yeah.
price on greatness, baby. You can't
John is
can't
showing us his shirt,
can't put a price on greatness.
Number 12.
number 12. That's a
That's
nice
my
shirt.
You guys know my dirty secret now. I'm a fan. I'm a big Tom Brady fan. It was especially, I always respected and appreciated him on New England, but
Oh
now that
yeah, me too.
he's down on Florida playing for my grandpa's favorite team, a lot easier to root for the guy.
I remember the Super Bowl where the Giants destroyed the Patriots.
Oh, well, that's part of it too. Tom had the good graces, even in his perfect season. to, you know, get out of the Giants and Eli's way, you know. So I have fond memories of Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, my Giants 2 Super Bowl wins. I don't harbor any resentment. I think what's it? I'm lucky that I got to live in an era where I got to see the greatest you know, the greatest basketball player in LeBron James and the greatest soccer player in Messi and the greatest football player in Tom Brady.
Comparably speaking, um, I grew up in the time of the New York Giants, and that was back in the '80s. And Lawrence Taylor was he was the goat back
He
then.
revolutionized the outside linebacker position in pass rushing.
Yeah,
He was the first stand-up pass rusher. No one had any idea what to do about him.
he was unstoppable. The guy was a juggernaut. He was unstoppable. And him with Phil Simms, the Giants were a really good team.
That linebacker core with Harry Carson and Carl Banks too.
Yes. It was like I couldn't wait until Sunday football games because it was just so much fun watching them. Now they're just I can't describe how bad they are now.
Oh, the Giants were pretty good this year. It's just the quarterback. Daniel Jones is not the guy.
True, very true.
But we're off topic. Chrissy, could you rate us back in? That's a tough thing when you're talking about football. Like, I love football. It's like my favorite thing in the world. It's easy to get off track.
I agree with that.
Sunday's football with making gravy, right, Chris?
Oh, gravy, meatballs.
All right.
All right, let's not get into that now.
So anyway, resorting back, Tom Brady, he is the brand. He has expensive stuff out there, and the fact of the matter is it's pretty much comparable to your everyday brand, and it's uppriced, and it has the ability and it has the right to be uppriced because it's his name. I mean, it's almost like he just has so much finesse. He has so much respect. People love him. He has a phenomenal life. He has all this stuff. Like, people want to be him. And people who aren't educated, especially about these different supplements, you've got all these different products, these equipments and whatnot, they'll buy it because it's his. They don't really know, oh, well, Tom Brady okayed it and this, that, and the other. No, Tom Brady didn't okay it. It's Tom Brady's name. Tom
Brady's company did.
His people are doing it. Everybody that works for him, his posse, quote unquote, is taking care of it for him. He's not doing that. And that's okay. He doesn't need to because his name is where it's at. His name is everything. I don't care what it is. And I mean, rightfully so. Hell, shit. Man, if my name could be a brand like that, I would totally. I'm envious of that shit. I would do that in a heartbeat. I take that and run with it.
I agree. I say this with like I say this with music a lot. And it's apt for this too. That I never blame an artist or a band, right? Like Metallica is one of my favorite bands. But
really?
I was too young to remember when they sold out. But a lot of Metallica fans can't listen to the Black Album or beyond because they sold out to go mainstream. And I never ever would hold that against a band or an artist. It's so difficult to make money in sports or music or
I agree.
any like highly competitive like dream job type thing. So if you have an opportunity to make like a ton of money, you go do it. And Tom is understood. He's in New England, and now you even see this offseason. Why were the Bucks able to spend so much money retaining all of these star players? It's because Tom Brady takes less money, and he knows he's going to make up for it on the back end because one, his wife makes more money than him, and two, with his wife running her own fashion brand, he's taken, all of that knowledge and thrown it into his brand. So yeah, my point was just that I never ever hold it against someone for selling out and doing what they can to make money. The issue that I take is looking through his site. You guys can talk about this too. I look at it and a lot of this seems kind of predatory, like preying on stupid people.
That's a very good word for it.
Yeah, no, that is a good word.
Like for example, right? I go through it and it's like any stand you are on it for 5 minutes, a pop-up comes, says enter your email address and we'll give you 10% off your first purchase, right? So they're trying to get your yep, there you go. They're
Yeah.
trying, you can see it right here.
Yep.
Yep, they're
A lot of
trying to
websites do
get
that.
your email address so they can spam you with, and then you go to it and immediately the first thing that you see on there, limited edition 7th collection for a 7th Super Bowl, the plant-based protein tubes shop now,
Right.
vibrating. Yeah, they don't have any illusions that Tom Brady wants to help you get in the best shape of your life. No, Tom Brady wants to sell his overpriced fucking shit plant protein to you.
From a coach's standpoint, I'm looking on his website at pliability for performance, how you can be like Tom Brady, how TB12 explained an introduction to pliability. These are all components of any good trainer's or coach's program.
Right.
The
Right,
only
it's
thing,
just dressed in the mystique of Tom Brady.
it's just, yeah, it's colorized so that it pimps Tom Brady. Now, I'm not saying that the aspects of his training aren't sound, because some of it is. I'm not a fan of him just mentioning bands, because his website sells bands.
But
Functional
yeah,
strength and conditioning. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say if you could go in deeper onto like just general overview, like what parts do you think are legit and what are some of the things that you think are bullshit and why? That I think that's what the audience would really like to know.
I think his theories on pliability, or his authors of these articles that say pliability is important, they're pushing that $180 fucking foam roller that vibrates. You don't need it. Yeah, exactly. So functional strength and functional strength and conditioning, what's the function for? Like, if you have a baseball player, is that functional for his sport? Or I have hockey players that are going into the NHL. Are you going to give an MMA fighter's functional training to a hockey player? It doesn't. It's bullshit. And any good. I'm sorry, Chrissy. Any
No,
good.
no, go on. No, go.
Okay.
Go.
So any trainer or coach, usually I have in my logo, I have conditioning, strength, and mobility, all included in every single one of my clients or athletes roster or programs or their protocols. But I'm not going to give a guy who wants to be a swimsuit model the same thing I would as a strongman competitor, the same thing as a power lifter or a bodybuilder. Like I said, conditioning, strength, and mobility, they all go to every single person that I train or coach. So what Brady's doing, and I'm not pushing down his ideals on liability training, or just certain things that are just complete bullshit. And I'm looking on the site, and all I'm seeing are training programs with bands only. That's stupid. If you want to be strong in your sport, you have to do some form of resistance training, and it can be weights, it can be bands, but not everybody has the budget to be like Tom Brady. And that's where I used to live in Belleville, New Jersey, which is up near North, and I used to work out in what I could afford in a ratty ass apartment building that flooded every time, and I would be training in work boots and jeans with barbells. I had rusty ass barbells. When it flooded, I had rats around me. So I've had shitty conditions. Not everybody has the five trainers that Brady has. And like I said, I'm not disgruntled, or I'm not I'm not pushing down his trainers. They're there for a reason. They help serve his purpose, and he's got a great purpose, and he's a great football player. It's just that on the website, and it's laughable.
We're just dissecting it,
Yeah,
basically just dissecting, the why, the how, and I mean, like we were saying earlier, I mean, that's just how it's going to be. I mean, when push comes to shove, at the end of the day, his name it says it all. And there can't be anybody on the face of this planet that does not know who the hell he is.
absolutely. I
At
agree
least
with you.
in this country, I mean, Tom Brady. Tom Brady could be more common than Tom, and you can't be any more common than Brady.
I've heard him referred to as the greatest living American. Like,
really?
Thought I was.
right.
America.
I'm saying it. He's the greatest living American. Fuck yeah, America. Fuck yeah.
What's the hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet?
Tom
Wow,
Brady.
you're going back away. Well, I think
I don't know. Oh, so go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, no, please.
You guys ever watch the show Entourage?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Do you remember the Tom Brady episode when they're golfing and Turtle has like his Giants golf covers on? He's ready to give Tom Brady shit because he's partnered with them, and Tom Brady is like putting, and he's like, "Yeah, Tom, how was the 2007 Super Bowl?" And then Tom's like, "Oh, Giselle and your girlfriend are good friends. You guys should come over for dinner sometime." And Turtle's like, "Huh, really?" And then later drama season, he's like, "What's that asshole Tom Brady like?" And he's like, "I'm going to his house for dinner. He's very charming." And then later on, like Tom says to him, "I'm going to be a free agent. How's New York, Turtle? I might be interested in the Giants." And Turtle's like, "Tom Brady and the Giants." Like, he's actually like, what's it? He has that plastic face and smile, and he's so successful, people don't want to get him. But I'll bet Tom Brady's a great dude to have a beer with. He does seem like a genuinely, cool family guy, and I'll bet Tom Brady would be cool to hang out with. I like Tom Brady. That's just my whole point there.
I want to know who his marketing agent is, because
we're shitting on his brand a little bit, so I wanted to say like a few nice things.
Yeah, real quick, there's something I want to go back. I know we're jumping around a little bit, to our listeners anyway. I know we're jumping around, but there's just so much to be said about it. There's so much excitement, and you know how you talk about a topic and you keep talking and talking, and the topic slightly changes, and then you get back into it. That's kind of what happens.
That's what makes a podcast good, right? Is that because it's long form and no one's in a rush, we have the time to explore these funny little.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My point, this is what I wanted to say to you guys earlier, going back to him taking less money. I read a lot of articles, and I should have wrote it down to pinpoint, my bad. He takes less money so they can pay all the proper people who support him and play around him, like Gronkowski and all those dudes, so he doesn't get hurt.
Right, he has an excellent O-line.
Yeah, that he takes less money, so he has the proper people out there to take. That's why him and Gronk went together.
It's so key to his success, because he knows he's gonna make it up on the back end in, his jersey sales and sales, sales of his, the $180 vibrator. extra large.
That's awesome.
All right, we're being boys here.
You know the one that you lean on your back. So
yeah, for your back, sure.
Right.
Roll back, foam roll.
We need explicit content in our next week's podcast.
I know. Going to hell in a handbasket.
Oh yeah. All three of us.
That's all right. So
See, this is what you guys get for bringing me on. I've already taken this to shit.
I'm so glad you joined us. I'm super psyched.
It is pretty
This
cool.
has been a long time coming. Sean and I have been working together for what, Sean, like almost 3 years?
Oh yeah, we spent a ton of time like ramping up. We started with like a totally different concept for the podcast, and then Chris came on, and this thing has really come together. And now I'm here talking to you too. So
It's a great
been
synergism.
yeah, synergism. I like that word.
You guys are
Synergasm.
the little one.
So you orgasm all at this.
Oh my God.
I don't even do that.
All right. Before I change our podcast rating, back to you, Chrissy.
Yeah, you know what? This is another thing we've been kind of ratting a little bit on Tom Brady. And like I said, we're just dissecting everything. But to look at it in a better light, most of most of these products that he has, there's a huge portion that goes to charity that he doesn't really ever disclose, and he remains anonymous about. And that, he has the ability to do that, and that's pretty friggin' awesome.
See, I didn't realize that a lot of it goes to
Yes.
charity.
A
So
lot of it goes to charity. That's why the products are expensive. There's no doubt about that. It's in the ridiculous, but it is what it is. Again, his name's attached to it, right? But a big portion goes to charity, and when he donates, he remains anonymous.
So he's just not publicizing.
And I've read,
Good, Chris.
I've read that, I've researched that, and it's been a lot of different references for sure.
Just a quick blurb from Fox Sports. How much does Tom Brady give to charity? From approximately 2005 to 2015, Best Buddies provided nearly 2.3 million, or about 80% of the Change the World's funding. If Brady started a donation of $490,000 to Change the World is excluded from the math, the percentage rises to 98%. So yeah, there's no doubt that the guy really gives back. Gives back to the community, and then some. And like I said, I can't take anything away from his athleticism or his athletic prowess.
Yeah.
And what is the guy, like 42 years old now?
Well, he'll be 44 in February.
44, and
They say his
he's still
leadership
amazing.
too. What's it? You see, like even in a league that has guys like Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, all these players are flocking to Tampa Bay down there to go play with Tom Brady and not these other guys. It shows
Did you say Tampa?
Tampa Bay. That's what they call it. Tampa Bay. You haven't heard? They have Tampa Bay shirts and everything.
That's funny.
But my point was there's a leadership aspect, and there's something about him that I think goes beyond just like the proven winning pedigree. That something about his personality, maybe he is a charmer like Turtle says, that people really want to play for him, and they go to war for this guy. He is really a charismatic leader too, and I think that ties into his brand too. Is he has like a natural leadership ability that even people online want to follow, like what he does and how he works out.
Let me ask you a question. Speaking of all that, have you ever really seen him distraught? Like,
yeah, after the Giants beat him in the Super Bowl those 2 times, he was distraught.
You know how Eli like throws? He's like, oh, I wish the listeners could see me. They, he gets.
The Eli has the aw shucks look when he throws a pick.
Like, damn it, and the giggity is the giggity.
Like, yeah, Quagmire. Giggity.
Giggity. You ever see it? He does. He goes giggity, like
yeah, the neck box, giggity.
I can't do it.
No, you'll throw out your neck.
If he does that, he does it few and far between. It's very, very rare. He just has a lot of finesse. He's real poised. He does a really tough job with just, with a shot of coolness. You know what I mean? There's something sexy about that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just,
I think you're a girl.
I am, but I'm just saying there's something very like, there's, I don't know.
Actually, I think my wife has
I'm
something
putting
for
emotion
Tom.
into this. I'm trying to give a little emotion.
Where's that extra large vibrator?
Oh my God.
This is
We just took this into the toilet.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
This is certainly our funniest episode, I think.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's all you.
So that's what I was just saying is he just has that type of finesse, and that's why people like him. That's you see that you're like, wow, this guy really keeps his cool. He's exceptionally talented. Yet he's talented. He probably is talented by default, but he's always the last person to leave the field. If you read articles, he's on the field before maybe and even maybe after the team. He's in, right after he wins the Super Bowl. I'm guaranteed. Maybe takes a week off and he's right back at it. He's got to be.
Sean, let me ask you a question. Has he ever been called out for bad sportsmanship?
Well, I mean, there was the deflating the footballs. That cheating isn't exactly good sportsmanship.
I even forgot about that too.
Yeah, actually, I think there's a couple incidents like when they lost to Chicago earlier this year. They made a big deal of Tom not shaking Nick Foles' hand, and there was another player this year that like after a bad loss he didn't shake their hand.
Wow.
And some people got on him for that, but I think that was way overblown.
Yeah, that's kind of petty.
I don't think he actively like didn't do it. I don't know. That is a little nitpicky to me.
Nitpicky is when he threw the trophy over the boat. You know what I'm talking about? Right after the Super Bowl, the Lombardi Trophy was thrown from his boat to another boat.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I saw the
'Cause
video of it.
he has so many, it doesn't matter anymore.
Probably took like 10-year-old one and just threw it over just for
It's
shits and giggles.
crazy. He has more championships than Michael Jordan, and he plays in football, where that's like impossible to do. We're never gonna see anything like him again.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's definitely up there, like on the Mount Rushmore, and he doesn't
Oh,
get that kind of credit.
He's the one spot. He's the Washington. He's the GOAT. There's no denying it anymore. After last year, people still said, oh, it was more Belichick than Brady. I was even one of those people, and you know what? The man proved all of us wrong again. He's done it for 22 years. He's gonna do it at 23rd next year. Bucks should be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. He is genuinely amazing, and that's why when he sells products like this, even though we can look and see that you can get all these same products for cheaper, the reason he is such a legendary mystical figure, and that draws people in. Consumers are lemmings.
I think Sean likes him. I think he's a big fan of his. I'm not sure.
I'm a huge big Tom Brady fan, man. I make no apologies about it.
Just
Tampa
put
Bay,
the
baby.
shirt. He just paid money for this shirt. You don't.
Yeah.
Get the shirt run you.
Not that much actually. I got it from wish.com, so it took forever to come here.
Aw. That's
I'm glad
awesome.
you're happy
Decent
with it.
quality though. It's all like stitched and it's official like Nike, NFL jersey.
You got to get it signed.
I'm sad I can't see it.
I would love to. You'll see it in person sometime. I'll wear it. This isn't the last time I'm wearing this.
It's gonna go in a glass case.
Get it after I get it signed.
That's funny. So, I just I want to go back again to another point. I thought this would be interesting. Okay. Tom Brady's going to say what he's going to say, although we know he's not saying it. His writers are saying it, but they're going to say what they want to say because he's the brand, right?
Right.
But no one's going to, people who don't know any better, they're not going to question it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to fact check him. Like we have, there's certain things that were said. Something about strawberries. Am I right on that?
He's
Or
never
you're
ate a
talking about.
strawberry.
He never. Well, that's not. I don't know if that's really what I was.
No, that was a thing with him that people made a big deal of, is that he's never ate a strawberry or like a
Yeah,
tomato. Like
yeah.
he
Yeah.
doesn't like to eat red things or something like that.
No, I heard.
Um,
Yeah.
I did take a look at his diet, his program for nutrition, and it it's a shady Mediterranean diet protocol or diet program, and it's there to sell, and it's Brady's Mediterranean diet where he has his own spin on it, and
Yeah, he just
it
has no
sells.
spin on it. It's just like no one's gonna fact check him.
Right.
Like I don't know if you guys knew who Stephen Glass was. Do you remember who he was? He was a journalist in the '90s. He worked for the New Republic. Anyway, he he fabricated all his stories.
Fake news?
Oh shit! Yeah, you did. It's a movie on it. He fabricated all his stories, and what happened?
Really?
Oh yeah. And he was on the cover of New Republic out of DC and all this stuff. And what happened is all all these magazines were ran, and no one bothered to fact check him because he was so like, oh, he was very proud, and he very like adamant about what he was saying. However, he fabricated like more than 85% of all those stories. People fact checked him. They're not going to fact check Tom Brady. No one's going to go back and hey, well, it's Tom Brady's. Basically, who cares? Because it's Tom Brady's. That's basically how it's just going to be. You're not going to question. We're not going to question.
Who are we to question the GOAT?
Yeah, we're just sitting here dissecting it. But people like that who aren't into any type of health or wellness or just want the product, they're not going to question it because it's Tom's, man. If it's Tom's, I'm buying it.
If it's good enough for Tom, it's good enough for me.
Exactly.
So, like the jersey.
Exactly. Exactly. So I just wanted to make that point. They're not going to fact check him. So he's, hell, he's up there next. He's right below the G-Man, Not in my eyes, but I think in the world's eyes. G-Man, Tom Brady.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know, Sean, what do you want to give us some conclusion here?
Yeah, really, what's it? My conclusion is that, it's, he's not totally selling you snake oil or anything. A lot of this is legit, and there's, some legit research to back it up. And it's also a lot of the same things that, are big movements in general in health and fitness now, like the pliability, to your point, Chris.
Mhm.
I think though, you're better off. You can look at some of this stuff and see and think if you think it's beneficial. You don't need to be buying his products, which are marked up like twice what they should be. Just go to Target or your local like supplement store or whatever, and you can get some of that stuff way cheaper and not pay to have that TB12 on it.
Small business. Support your small
For
business.
your small businesses, yeah.
That I agree with big time.
Yeah, especially now, you guys.
Oh yeah.
And, support small business in your area. I mean, Tom
Mhm.
Brady, he's not gonna miss it. Don't worry about it.
I mean,
gonna
if he
care about
really
your
wanted,
sale.
he'd just live off of Giselle, right? Like
Yeah.
it's the
Who's his
thing we
wife?
forget, huh?
Who's his wife? I never knew.
Giselle Bundchen. She's one of the top supermodels that's ever existed.
her.
She's way more famous and makes more money than him around the world.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. She's from Brazil.
Yeah, she's from Brazil.
Oh yeah. Okay. I know who she is. All right. I didn't know it was her.
Yeah, one of like the biggest Victoria's Secret models that's ever existed.
Yeah,
I'm actually on Google, guys, right now, taking a look at her.
I can't believe you didn't know who she was.
Listen, my wife tells me everything about who somebody's married to, and I'm like, what do I give a shit? I don't care.
Now you care. You see?
It's a girl thing. I'm telling you.
Well, easy.
Yeah.
Chris, you got any concluding words for the TB12?
B12 is a. I'm going to be nice. I can appreciate his marketing brand. I'm not taking anything away from him as an athlete. I think some of the stuff that he writes should be fact checked. But along with Tom's 5 trainers, it comes packaged. So, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Tom Brady as a person, as an athlete, but I'm not crazy about the upscale foam rollers that vibrate. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Right. No, I agree. I agree with everything. Like we said, like to wrap it up, basically, he is the brand. He's a hell of an athlete.
Absolutely.
Absolutely amazing. He works for everything that he has. He's got finesse like no other. He comes to the dance prepared every single time,
Yeah.
even if it's not the Super Bowl. Every game, you know. Do you guys get I watch Red Zone.
Yeah, I'm big into Red Zone
I'm
every
like
weekend.
ridiculous with the Red Zone. I can't watch one game. I got to know what's going on.
It's the only way to watch football, especially if you're into fantasy or gambling. Like that's the only. What's it? I watch the Giants game and then it's Red Zone the rest of the day.
Yep. Yeah, totally. It's just when you always find myself looking, I go, whoa,
Or usually, honestly, it's two screens. One for like the main slate game, or the Giants game, and then the second screen for Red Zone.
Yeah, I agree.
Multifunction.
Oh, I wanted to ask you while we're talking about football, Chrissy, you might have a unique perspective on this, but Deshaun Watson and the massage therapist, have you guys heard anything about that?
No.
No.
So Deshaun Watson, right? Top 5 quarterback in the league right now. Super high profile. He's been in trade talks all summer. It's coming out from, I think there's like 6 civil suits now, with more on the way or something, from different masseuses where he
Massage
tried to make
massage therapists.
massage therapists.
Yes, I'm not yelling at you, but that masseuse is like the total like derogatory term for a massage therapist.
Derogatory.
Massage therapist. Yeah, masseuse is like has a
That's what they've used. That's the word they've used in the media.
I know.
The whole time.
Yeah, they don't exactly. No one's fact checking the media. You
Okay.
see what I'm saying?
I never knew this.
The good information, but besides the point, what's it? It's coming out from more and more women that he made some very inappropriate and awful, frankly, sexual advances on them. I was just wondering about your take on all of this. The culture.
Yeah. So, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm gonna give you a little bit of behind the culture. Okay, masseuse is like it was a term that was used back in the day, and it basically it's just very derogatory. It's massage. It's more like that sexual massage thing. That's like
okay.
when we hear masseuse, we're like,
there's a sexual connotation. I got
Thank you. Better. There's a sexual connotation behind it. So massage therapist is the most professional way to go.
When I
the culture. Sorry, Chris. Hold on a second. As far as the culture is concerned, I will tell you. I mean, I've not worked with like A-list athletes, but I've worked with like minor league athletes. I've worked with all types of musicians, all types of people. It happens all the time. There's advances all the time. There could be certain, you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they're professional massage therapists, they know better, but I don't know.
I kind of remember driving through New York. My mom and I don't have to drive through New York to see some of my my doctors because I have alopecia and I needed to be checked by a doctor in New York that my mom wanted me to go to. And this is back in the late 70s and early 80s. And I remember seeing masseuse. So I understand what you're talking about, sexual connotations. And yeah, you're right. I didn't even realize that was a thing until just now.
Yeah.
Definitely no good. Just saying, just it's masseuse is like we look at it like there was a meme on Facebook I saw the other day. It was like what a massage therapist thinks of when they hear the word masseuse, and the guy was just like all bugging out, like giving him the finger and all. It was just really, really, it was funny. So
I didn't
yeah,
realize that until now.
it's always, it's a very massage is a very intimate, it's an intimate thing. I mean, you're 9 times out of 10 you are not fully clothed. I mean, sometimes you are, but sometimes you're not. So what happens is, things could go the wrong way, but a professional will definitely change it, change that. If it's to go that way, then you say something, and you step up to the plate. I've had that happen, a bunch of times.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. Yes, Sean O'Matic.
Yeah, I did. What's it? We learned some crazy inside details there that I know we've talked once before on this podcast about how awful the culture can really be with what men are expecting and think they're entitled to is pretty crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to pass it back to you guys both with just any final thoughts on Tom, TB12, football in general, whatever.
Football rocks.
I'm
Tom
gonna make-
Tom rocks,
yeah.
and TB12 sucks. And that's my point.
That's pretty much a perfect sum of this podcast. Chrissy, I'll turn it to you.
Yes. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for listening to our awesome banter. I want to thank Sean for being a part of this episode, the Sean O'Matic.
Sean O'Matic.
Sean-O, the Sean Nation.
I want to thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to come on and we had some fun. We got off topic a little, but I'll get better each week, hopefully.
Yeah, he's a fixture in our in the Fitness Lifestyle Podcast. So
Very
thanks
excited.
guys for listening. Very, very glad that you guys tuned in, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.